Okay guys, this is my mother, Ophelia, an authentic Mexican making you authentic flour tortillas.
Hello everybody, this is my first time doing this on camera. I have done this before with friends and little kids at school. Anyway, the first thing I wanted to tell you was this apron that I am wearing, when I was a teenager, I worked in a factory, and all the guys and women that worked there were very big. So my mother made me this denim apron, and I've had it since I was 19 years old. When I cook at church or anywhere like that, I wear it. It brings me very good memories of my mom. Okay, so now with the flour tortillas, the only thing I'm going to measure out is the flour, because I want you to start with 4 cups of flour. So we're going to put that in the pan.
That's a bowl. That's a bowl.
Sorry, I'm going to put it in a bowl.
People cooking it on the stove.
And also, I did preheat some water, because you're going to need some hot water, not boiling, but as warm as you can stand. Okay, you don't want to burn your hands. And then my mom taught us to do everything by hand, not measuring anything. So this is probably about a tablespoon and a half, maybe, of salt. It looks like a lot, but it's not for 4 cups of flour. And then 2 teaspoons of baking powder. And I use my hands for everything, so I like to gather this up first, kind of break it up in there together. And then,
I'm sure
again,
people
using
would,
my hands.
I'm sure people would sift that if they wanted to, right? They'd sift all that.
Oh, you
stuff.
can sift it, but this is the way we were taught.
Right.
Your fingers, everything is done with our hands.
Best tools you have.
The best tool you have. And this is about 2 tablespoons of shortening.
Can they use anything besides shortening? Or?
Vegetable shortening is what we grew up using, Crisco mainly, but if you've got a store brand, that's okay too.
But they can't use any like vegetable oil or
No
butter
oils.
or
It's got to be shortening.
Okay.
It's got to be shortening. And then you're going to mix all this up until it almost looks like, if you've ever made pie dough,
Let's see.
it's going to look broken up. It's going to look,
So it should look like, can you put it back on?
Yeah, in a minute. As soon as I'm done gathering all this. And the reason you're going to use hot water is because you want the shortening and everything to come together. That's why you need the hot water. So there. That's how it's broken up. It almost looks, you see that?
Okie dokie.
Okay. Little lumpy, but that's because of the shortening. Okay. Now I'm going to add some hot water. And I'm going to have to stand on my granddaughter's...
And be careful.
Yes, be very careful. And I'm going to stand on my granddaughter's little stool because I'm short. And my daughter happens to be a lot taller than me. So you just keep adding this.
This is not a movie trick, ladies and gentlemen. She really is short. I did not raise the counter for special effects.
So you just keep adding water and you keep gathering the dough together. You keep just gathering, and you're going to be, as you're gathering, you're kneading. And my mother always used to say that it's all gathered well when the bowl is clean and doesn't have any particles of dough stuck to it. So add a little bit more. So like I said, it's got to be a little at a time, and just keep gathering it until it gets into a ball. Hold that because I'm making too much noise.
I tried telling, I did tell all the members that I have never been able to roll out a round tortilla. It's not funny, it's traumatic. Mine always look like Batman symbols.
Well,
They taste good though.
I did have my children making them when they were little because I wanted to teach them to cook Mexican food. That's part of their heritage. So as you can see, it's gathering into a ball. My bowl is pretty clean. Thank you, Mom.
Can I see a shot of the bowl? Nice and shiny.
So now you can
But I
actually
still have to wash that afterward with soap and water, I'm assuming?
Yes. So now you finish kneading it on a nice clean area.
Could you move that bowl a little bit more? Thank you.
And one thing I do want to mention is I took off my rings and my dangly bracelet because unlike Rachel Ray or Paula Dean, I do not do this with my jewelry on.
You don't have somebody that can clean it for you after you're
No,
done.
exactly. I'd have to have a toothpick and a little brush and all that too.
A toothbrush.
Yeah. So once you finish doing this, you're going to take a clean towel. You're going to put the dough in the bowl and you're going to cover it up for just a few minutes.
How many minutes do you think?
I would say maybe 3 or 4 minutes, and just let it sit for a little bit, and then we will continue with part 2 when we get back. Thank you.
Fade to black. If I knew how to do that, it would fade. Okay guys, we're back with my mom and we're gonna move on to step 2.
Hi, so welcome back. Now the first thing I wanted to show you is this is a comal, and it's a cast iron skillet, and this is what we grew up using. And some of you may have something like this, which you can use as well. These, of course, you know, you have to well season like you do anything that's cast iron. Now, before we start rolling out tortillas, you heated up your comal, but the way
How long do you think they should heat it up for?
Well, I think maybe 2 or 3 minutes, and then my mom said that when you do this with water and it bubbles up, then it's ready to use. So what we're going to do now is, first of all, I want to show you what we use to roll out the tortillas. This is a piece of a broomstick handle. Now, I have the original one that my dad made for me. He made one for each of us girls. There's 7 girls in my family.
That's a couple.
And each one
a couple broomsticks.
That's
a couple brooms.
broomsticks. But as each one of us got married, my dad would make us our own palote, rolling pin. Palote, okay? And this is the one my husband made for his daughter Maria, and he also made one for our other daughter Jennifer. Now, we have let this sit, and it's been in the bowl for a few minutes. So what we're going to do now is
is it supposed to rise or anything, or just
I
sit?
think it does. I think it sets and it probably rises a little bit.
Okay.
But anyway, so this is the dough, and what we're going to do is we're going to take a little ball like this, okay? And you squeeze your fingers and then you break it off. Now, it's a ball, and a lot of people will start with the ball to roll it out. What we do is we make what you call a tistal, and that is you form it like this to kind of flatten it out a little bit.
Like a little mushroom
Like
cap.
a little mushroom bit. And, you know, right here in this
Stop
ball of your
moving
hand.
it. Let me see the bottom of it. Okay.
But it's right on the ball of that hand, on the hands. So then we set it down. We can make a couple or 3 to start. And then I'll show you how to roll these out. And I hope I don't make a Batman wings.
Batman symbol.
Batman symbol. Put that one back in because you want to keep that warm. And also, if your dough comes out a little bit sticky, then what you're going to have to do is keep some flour handy, just again, like when you're making pie dough or anything like that, and then you just add a little bit of flour if it sticks to the board. Then we start rolling it out. You keep turning after each step, after back and forth. And that's a good size right there. Okay? And then what you do is you take it and you put it on the comal, and then you're going to see these little bubbles forming. And that's going to show you that it's baking, actually, on top of the stove it's baking. And then, not for very long, and then you're going to flip it over, and then you're going to let the other side also, you know, bake.
And use something safe
And
to
then,
turn
yes,
it.
if you cannot use your fingers like we
Like
do,
me. I can't do
you
it.
can use a fork, or you can use a spatula, and there's the first one. And then we'll do another one. A lot of times also, when you first start making these, sometimes, you know, it's almost like the very first one or second one may be your sample tortillas, because you know, everybody has an off day, and you just, you know, you may not, it may not come out right. So the first one or the second one, I mean, they're still baked all the way. It's
You can
just
still
that,
eat them.
You can still eat them, you know. And also, ladies and gentlemen, if there's any gentlemen out there watching, when you buy the store tortillas, you know how white they look? To me, it's almost like they're raw.
Yeah,
Okay?
me too.
So
They're
you
hard.
see, this is, so what I do is I don't preheat them in the microwave or whatever. I take out my comal and then I finish what I say it's the finished product. You know, you finish browning them. And then to me, it's like, okay, now they're well done. They're not raw.
Right.
But I don't want to say anything about the manufacturers. Don't go around there complaining or telling them that I'm complaining and they're not going to let me buy any.
I don't think that they're going to buy store-bought ones after they do this successfully anyway.
So I think maybe 3 is enough to show you how to do this.
Yeah, that sounds good.
And then you can stuff them with whatever. You can make breakfast burritos, stuff them with cheese and eggs and sausage, bacon, anything. Or you can make, you know, for dinner. You can, you know.
Or they can make garganditas.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing that maybe I should have told you. When we have, when you have this dough, you roll out the tortilla and then you cut it into strips. And then you can use oil. What you do is you put oil in a pan and you fry them. We call them gargantitas. I cook Tex-Mex. There's other different parts, like in California, Arizona, Mexico, whatever. Everybody has a different name for the same thing. Taco Bell, you know, they make those little strips and they put cinnamon and then honey on them. Basically, it's the same thing. So anyway, you deep fry them and then you either put sugar on them, roll around in sugar, or cinnamon sugar. And they are delicious.
Yes,
My kids
they are.
grew up eating those and they love them.
And we would always burn our mouths on them and our
They didn't wait
fingers.
until they cooled down. So anyway, I hope that this has helped you. I hope I took the time and showing you and telling you everything that you needed to know and use and everything. So again, thank you for watching my daughter's recipes online and everything. And she's laughing at me, I know.
No,
but,
I really appreciate it. I really
okay.
appreciate it.
Love to all of you. God bless and safe and good cooking.
Thanks, Mom.